everybody. Welcome back to Two Dudes Talking Motorcycles. My name is Mitch.
And my name is Gleb. You can follow me on social media at GlebLapham.
And mine is at Meech to the Beach. We also have our podcast information at tdtmotorcycles. Or if you want to email us, any comments, questions, concerns, tdtmotorcycles at gmail. And, well, gmail.com. But yeah. So, anyways, second episode of the year.
And welcome back.
Yeah.
If you hear clacking and clattering in the background, that's me with a halls in my mouth because I've been having a cough all week. So I apologize for that. I'm trying my best not to cough into the mics, but it feels worse when I'm trying to talk.
Stuff we've done before, but yeah.
So I'll try my best not to make too much noise.
Yeah.
But today we are talking about what to do in an emergency.
Yeah, this will be just some general advice or like stuff you can really just find online. But
and Mitch, you were you have a law enforcement background. You were in the sheriff's office, right? So I'm assuming you had
some medical
training and things like that. That kind of
more like first trauma care, stuff like that. But again, that's been years and years. Like we have in our notes, we do want a disclaimer that neither of us are medical professionals.
Nope.
So,
I'm not certified on anything. Yeah. I don't know if you are or not, but
not currently. So, but
I've only done one first aid class back in high school when I worked at a trampoline park.
Yeah.
That's it.
When I was fresh out of high school, I did get my EMT basic certification. Did not get a job in it. Then just did offhand. I knew some first responders. I just learned some stuff from. And then with the sheriff's office, I did it was through the Federal Law Enforcement Training Academy. I did their tactical medical course. Again, just a little certificate. But again, that's just how to stop a bleed until a professional can take over. So stuff like that.
But I think it is important to kind of especially if you're riding out either as a group ride or even by yourself, but if you're far away from any town or city or cell phone service, to kind of at least know the basics. I feel like I should probably know more.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be really cool to do a first aid class, even if it doesn't certify you for anything particular, but just to know at least the basic procedures and what to do if there is an emergency. Yeah. So yeah, we thought it'd be a pretty good topic to talk about.
Yeah, and whenever I was thinking about episode ideas and stuff, this came up because I remembered your sheep incident. I thought you were going to go down.
Oh, yeah, I thought I was going to go down.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, it's just at that split second, it's okay, I know where my medical kit is. We're just going to have to address this as it unfolds. Yeah. But luckily, nothing happened from it.
Yeah, and then. And especially with how many us doing off-roading more often, things like that, where we are more likely to be out of cell phone service, out in the middle of nowhere, with less traffic and stuff. It's probably good to know how to do a lot of basic type stuff. But before we get into our main topic, I'm going to talk a little bit about the news. If you're listening to the last episode, remember I was talking about the car and giving you some updates. So after we aired that episode, there was only really, I think, one more stage left, maybe two.
Yeah, you had made a prediction.
Yeah, and I made the prediction that Ricky Brabeck was going to probably win Rally 2 or Rally GP. Sorry, the Rally GP class of the Dakar. The Rally GP, just as a reminder, is kind of like the professional level motorcycle class in the Dakar. Then there's Rally 2, and then below that there's the Moto Originals, which is just no support other than other Moto Originals like racers. So I'm just talking about the Rally GP. I probably should have looked at the winners of the other ones, but I did not. But Ricky Brabeck, I made the prediction that he was most likely going to win. Let me just pull up the standings here just so I can get the other ones as well. But I made the prediction that he was most likely going to win the motorcycle portion.
Yeah, was that based on the distance and the timing he was having currently at that?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. He was kind of in the lead the entire, for the majority of the car, and they score different ways. Like you don't have to come in first in every stage to come in first in the overall race. So it just kind of depends on where you land in the different stages. But on the very last stage and the stages before that, he was doing good. He had a roughly, I think, about 3 or 4 minute lead on the person behind him, which was Luciano Benavides. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty confident that he's going to win because he's been cruising the entire time. But he did not win.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was so surprised because I was like, whoa. This guy was like in the lead consistently, like doing good. But no, he lost out to Luciano Benavides by only 2 seconds, which is the closest finish in Dakar history.
I think you ruined it for him.
I don't know what you said. So Luciano's final time was 49 hours and 41 seconds. And Ricky Brabeck's was 49 hours and 43 seconds. And third place was Tasha Sharina, coming in at 49 hours, 25 minutes, and 53 seconds. So there's a whole 25-minute gap between the first 2 places and the last place, or in the third place. But that's just insane to me that it was like such a close finish. And what happened was, so Ricky Brabeck, he was the first one off the line on the final stage. And the tricky part about being first off the line in Dakar is there's no other lines to follow. You're making the first trail to that final push. Or I guess in that stage, you're making the first trail. There's no other tracks. There's no other like markers to follow from other riders. So he was the first one out. And the thing that did cost him his victory is he ran into navigation trouble. He went off the track and he had to turn back. And at that point, he pretty much saw Luciano like cruising along right past them. And I actually watched the highlight of the final stage, and it was cool because Luciano pulled up to the finish, and right after him, Ricky Brabeck pulled up, and he told him he told Luciano he won, like Luciano won, and he was just kind of like looking kind of like confused, like what do you mean? Yeah. Like, what do you mean I won? Like what's going on? He's like, you won, and then the official came out and like confirmed it. And then everyone all of a sudden got excited. Wow, Luciano got excited. He like drove his bike up to his crew, just like dropped it on the ground to like, celebrate basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was good sportsmanship between the two, like seeing the kind of two interact. Of course, it probably feels pretty sucky to like lose by such a short amount.
Yeah.
Especially after being like consistently in the top spot for the entire time and only to lose by like 2 seconds. I'd probably feel pretty down after that. But it's nice to see kind of like this camaraderie and sportsmanship between the riders, kind of like, hey man, you won. Yeah. Like you beat me. You won. So yeah, it was kind of like a big unexpected turn of events that happened in the 2026 Dakar, and losing that close, it's just kind of,
it's insane.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah. The whole race was overall a 2,943 miles. So 49 hours, 2,943 miles. That's some intense riding.
Yeah.
That's some intense riding. It was really fun to watch, like the highlights, not just the motorcycles, but also like the all the other categories that they have in it. One of my favorites was there was the classic category where they have like older cars. I think cars older than 25 years are considered classic.
Yeah.
So it's like older cars, and it's kind of like their own separate category. But there was this team of 2 British ladies, and they were like an old Land Rover.
Yeah.
And watching their interviews was, they just seemed like a delight. They just seemed like they're just kind of like happy to be there. Just kind of like hanging out, like, oh yeah, we're like 2 ladies in their 50s and they're racing in Dakar, like in a classic thing. I was just like, I want to do that when I'm 50 years old. That sounds pretty dope.
I want to do something cool.
So it was really cool to see something like that. And for anyone else that's interested, the other winners in the biking category. So in the Rally 2, which is more like amateur level, there's Tony Mulek. He came in first. He raced for the BS World KTM team with 51 hours, 57 minutes, and 59 seconds. And then Preston Campbell came in second with Monster Energy Honda. And then Martin Ventura came in third with Monster Energy Honda as well. And then if you're interested, the original My Moto, we had the Benjamin Mello come in first, Joseph Pedro come in second, and then Jerome Martini came in third.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to watch. I really enjoyed the car, and I'm not a big like sports person.
Yeah.
In general, like I don't really keep up with like any specific like sports team. I don't watch them on TV. I'll go see live sports. I think it's fun to go see sports live.
Yeah, that could be an event. Yeah.
But seeing stuff on TV, I just, especially like, you ever watch like a football game?
I can't.
I can't because there's a commercial every like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
They drop the ball 2 seconds. Like, oh, they got to reset. Here's commercial break.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they do like a 10-second play.
No, the only
commercial again.
Yeah. The only sport like that I can sit down and watch is like MotoGP, which I
feel like watching like maybe like basketball or hockey is a little better on TV because it's like more consistently moving.
Yeah.
Baseball, I can't watch. I can barely watch that in person.
I actually like baseball in person. I can't watch it on TV.
I think in person it's fine. It's fine if you go like with your friends just to kind of like chit chat and have a beer on like a summer day.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually interested in the sport itself.
Yeah. I think for me the like sports I can watch is F1, MotoGP, Dakar. If I can catch it. But,
and Dakar is like, and I don't even know if they do like a live broadcast anywhere. It's mainly just the highlights after, but they do have like even hour-long highlights for each stage, which I did not watch because that's a lot to watch every day. But it's pretty cool the amount of coverage that they have for Dakar, and this is probably one of these sports that I've kind of like consistently followed. So I'm looking forward to it again next year.
That'd be sweet. Yeah, I don't think I'll be getting like a MotoGP pass this year.
I'm hoping, and this is slightly off topic, but not really. So
we mentioned this in the last Apple, right?
Yeah, because they are broadcasting F1, and then the company that broadcasts F1 also bought the rights to broadcast like MotoGP.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they're going to include that, which would be awesome.
I mean, it's starting up in February, so
it'd be really cool to see.
I haven't heard anything. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I would definitely sign up for Apple.
Oh yeah,
I could watch.
That's the one service I pay for. So, but big congratulations to Luciano Benavides.
Yeah.
Big sorry for Ricky Brabeck, but I mean, I think just finishing Dakar is already like
I was going to say,
itself.
like, honestly, congrats to anyone who finished.
Second. Yeah, and honestly, like finishing second, I mean, it's still crazy.
Yeah,
it's still crazy to kind of like just do that race in general.
Right.
So, huge congrats to everyone that participated in Dakar. Whether you're bike, car, the trucks are always super awesome to watch.
Oh yeah, they're powerful beasts.
Yeah, so really cool. It'd be dope to see something like this in person one day. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing it again next year. And then that's pretty much it for the news. I try to see if there's any like new bikes coming or anything like that. January is kind of a little dry on the announcents.
We're not quite in the bike season.
Yeah, once EICMA gets over, I feel like there's really not too many things going on.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to that Triumph event
that's
next week.
Tuesday.
Yeah, or Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
Wednesday.
Triumph is basically, they do their Triumph like tour every year or so. Where they basically have like a venue and they bring out a bunch of different models, like
so
new
we'll
models
see,
too.
like because they're talking like 30 plus models or something like that.
Which
so we'll see
like slight color variations, but
I hope it's not like obviously that's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah,
but I hope there's like other improvements.
But there's been a couple of like, especially on the lower end, like new models and like the Tracker 400 or something like that, based on like the Scrambler and the Street.
Oh, they're like the Scrambler X. And,
like on that platform. But it's just cool to kind of go see it in person to see how it is, and just kind of mess around with them, ask them why they were TF2s off center.
Yeah,
who came up with that idea?
Yeah,
and just so
we'll have to talk about it afterwards. So.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the next episode. But should we jump into our main topic?
Yeah, definitely.
But real quick, before we jump into our main topic, remember that if you are gearing up for the next riding season, or if you're already in the next riding season, depending on where you live, feel free to use our RevZilla affiliate link down in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does give us a little bit of a kickback for whatever gear you may be buying, and now's the time to buy.
Yeah,
lots of old season stuff is on clearance before the new stuff makes its way to inventory. So
I'm actually going to see if I can get some new gloves. So.
Yeah, I kind of want new pants, but I already overspent. I had to get new snowboarding boots. I was telling you, those things are about as much.
Yeah.
Snowboarding and motorcycle gear are both
I'm in
very
the same. I want to get
expensive,
more. I want to get like new pants too, but like I'm buying some ammo and stuff, So it's just. When I bought a training gun and I bought a new holster too. So I'm like, it's like, dang it, I've already kind of overspent my fun money.
Yeah, that.
But
snowboarding boots kind of was like kicking the dick with trying to buy because there was like $380 for those. So I'm like,
jeez,
that's like it's the same, almost the same price as motorcycle, motocross boots.
Yep.
But anyways, I'll probably buy something later this year.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's jump in.
Yeah, and again, I said at the beginning, I'll say it again. We are not medical professionals. You will need to take some sort of class to handle like stuff like spinal injuries, broken bones, bleedings, and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Or if you know somebody who can teach you, if you know a paramedic or a doctor or a nurse or,
I don't know if how accurate this is, but I feel like you can probably look at your local like fire departments.
Yeah.
Maybe like local clinics. I'm sure there's a lot of like local like places like community centers,
like public education,
community centers, like firefighter like stations that probably offer some kind of like low cost or even free first aid class. I know I've seen plenty of pop up around here. Even like I think.
Well, I know we've mentioned it. Like I would like to go get like either certified in something again or just get a refresher course.
Yeah, I think it'd be something really good to have.
Yeah,
and I'm sure there's plenty of resources that are available that are like low cost and through like public offices or public places that do it. Check with your library. I feel like libraries always have like interesting classes that pop in and out.
Yeah, for sure.
Local colleges, schools, county, community centers. I feel like there's plenty of avenues you can probably do to learn.
Yeah,
at least a basic first aid. Or like Mitch said, if you have a friend who's an EMT or
who knows what they're talking about,
they can probably be more than happy to share what they know.
Yeah,
because I feel like the more people you have knowing this stuff, the better in general. Yeah.
And a good chunk of this is actually going to be like not necessarily about like what to do like medically to like help somebody, but just to keep yourself and the scene safe and get emergency services like on the way. And if you don't know stuff like CPR, if that's necessary, the operators are trained to like walk you through stuff like that as well too. So hopefully you have cell phone signal. So.
Yeah. And if you don't, I'll talk about it a little bit later after we get through like the more hands-on stuff about what a lot of modern phones have that can help you at least get some kind of help to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead, Mitch.
So first and foremost, and you'll see it if you ever see like videos of if you're into watching videos of motorcycle crashes, especially in groups, you'll see it all the time. People will like rush in because they want to save their friend or family, understandable. But what they're professionals and what fire and EMS will teach you, first thing you want to do is slow down and approach safely, because you don't want to like get hurt yourself because you have tunnel vision and now there's two patients instead of the one.
Yeah.
And now you've just made everything worse. So
it kind of goes back to if you're on a plane and they talk about the masks falling, like say put yours on first before you help another person.
Yeah. Gosh, there was one I watched. Some riders were in a canyon. One of their friends went down. The guy with the camera parked, and he started running toward his buddy, and the car just comes like buzzing right past him. I'm like, dude, you could have been wiped out too.
Yeah.
And like, so it's important to remain calm and approach things safely. Look for hazards, like oncoming traffic, or I don't know if. I don't see a situation like if there's a power line down in a motorcycle wreck, but you obviously don't want to approach
you never
that.
Know. Yeah, maybe it was a big gust of wind, or maybe somebody else hit it. That's also a very possible thing.
Yeah, it could be. So it's important to remain calm, and one thing you can do to help yourself with that, mentally prep yourself for every ride, and just remember, whatever's going to be going on in a wreck, you're not going to actually be able to fix anything. You're not going to fix a broken bone, or concussion. Like you're just there to hold everything in place until first responders can arrive and do what they're trained to do.
Yeah.
So, approach safely, calm down. Your panic's not going to help anything. If you're in a group, have somebody assigned to call 911 and get communications going, location, have them stick with you so that while you're checking on the person, they can relay that information to the operators while you do what you need to do. If not, go ahead.
I was going to say, and even though this is a motorcycle podcast, I mean, these things can apply to any kind of emergency, like in any day car wreck, hiking incident, walking, like anything you see, random stranger on the street, that's like all sorts of stuff. But I always hear the big one is to like tell someone to call 911.
Yep.
Just give them that assignment, so it's not a bunch of people trying to dial or trying to figure out, oh, are you calling or am I calling? Like, who's doing what?
Yeah. And that one thing that's nice though about being on a motorcycle, like if it's just two people like us riding and one of us goes down, we have comms to our, we don't have to hold the phone, have it on speaker. We can talk to them like from our helmet.
That is very true.
So that's a nice little bonus of being on a motorcycle. So if you don't have somebody else there to call 911. The other thing that you'll want to make sure you're doing is you'll want to secure the scene. So if you're in a group, you've got somebody who's going to be talking to 911. If there's more of you, have people go up the road and down the road to warn traffic oncoming both ways, so that
like slow them down.
Yeah, it's like, hey, wave like there's an obstacle ahead.
Yeah,
and there are people. So. Again, that's just if you have like a group. Yeah. If not, then you just kind of have to assess the scene.
I think also like one of the big things, like if someone does go down, I feel like a lot of people have the instinct to like one, check on the person, but also like check on the bike.
Yeah.
Like check on the person. The bike, you can fix the bike. If it's total, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's much harder to fix a person than it is to fix a bike. Yeah. Like make sure it's shut off. Make sure it's not like catch on fire or anything. But
and what you can do too, because like again, if you are in a group, a lot of people will be panicking and they're going to try and crowd the person. Like if you're going to say like, hey, I'm taking over, you need to get people back. Get other people to help you. It's like get them back. Like go block traffic, go check the bike, get them away. And just call people over as you need them. You don't need people crowding,
exactly.
And I had this was actually when I was still in college, but we were at the airport, we were flying to for a vacation. And this lady ended up having a seizure while we were waiting to board. And just everybody just started like crowding, freaking out, people I was with, we had to like, hey guys, get back. Like it's like pointed at one of the desk people. They were already on the phone with somebody and like, but it's going to be hectic. You got people freaking out, so you got to stay calm and locked in, see if you can recruit them to help you or just get other people to get the others out. Yeah. So adrenaline's a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
But the next thing you'll want to do, let's see, where did I go? I lost it. Okay, speaking of adrenaline being a hell of a thing, you've approached safely, you're at your friend. If they're up and walking around, have them sit down. Yeah. If they're talking, try and pay attention to what they're saying. Are they making any sense? Ask them questions, like simple questions. But
like
first,
for like slurred speech.
Even just stuff that if you can say, hey, what day is it? And they're like, oh, it's Saturday, what bike do you have? Like if they're not making sense, that can be indicative of a concussion or some sort of head injury. So, and again, if you're like us and you're not the professional, it's like err on the side of caution, have them sit down, lay down. You don't want them moving.
But also not falling asleep.
Yep.
You want to keep them, but the concussion, like you want to keep the person awake.
Yep. Keep them talking if they are, if they're already conscious from there. But that's, but even if they are making sense, that's still a sign that like, hey, adrenaline can be a thing. They can be compensating hardcore with that. But just keep them awake, keep them talking.
Makes sense.
If they are. Next thing is you do not remove their helmet because you don't know what kind of shape their head or neck are in. Yeah. And like, obviously there's caveats. Like if they aren't breathing, you're going to, if you know CPR, that can be something that you
might need to
do. And, motorcycle helmets, we have the emergency release stuff from there. So,
which I think was one of the requirements for the new certifications in the EU. That they, all helmets must have the quick release cheek pads to make it easier to remove them.
Yeah, but that's in an exigent circumstance. That's safe, err on the side of caution. Don't remove the helmet. Better yet, if you have the modular helmet, if you need to do CPR, you can just lift up their little face thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because go ahead.
I had a question. I remember so CPR, you always see people doing the chest compressions and then kind of breathing in the mouth.
Yeah.
Is that still? I know the compressions are still a thing. What about the mouth to mouth? Because I've heard it both ways.
Yeah.
I heard it's something that's not done quite as much anymore to breathe into another person's mouth, but I also heard that it's still something that you could do to
I would
get a
refer to a professional. It's every time I've been taught or renewed on it, it's they still teach it, but they do give that caveat of, it's if you don't know this person or if you may catch something.
Yeah, that makes sense. So maybe it was more of a viral or bacterial precaution versus.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't be doing it if it's somebody I didn't know. So, they also sell, if you want to get a medical kit, they sell the pieces you can put over the mouth and nose so that you can breathe in without getting.
For CPR, remind me what the rate.
It's 120 beats per minute. Don't quote me on that, because again, like I said, everything I have learned, it's been a while.
Yeah,
and I've been lucky that I haven't.
I think 120 sounds right.
120 beats per minute. Doing the chest compressions, hands out. We're on a podcast, not a video, so I can't really show that. But that was with the CPR. There is, where did it go? I must put it at the bottom. Back to not having them move or removing the helmet. There's the bit in your neck, the bone in your neck. It's called your C-spine. And you'll see it in medical videos and TV shows. The paramedics, the doctor are always holding someone's head to keep them still. That is something you'll want to do, especially if they're confused, if they're acting weird and they try to move, just trying to keep them still and hold them down and then assess for other injuries from there. Because that, again, it can really mess them up.
Yeah.
Cause some real nerve and pain damage. Stuff. It can be bad. The only time you'd want to move, again, this is something I've learned, luckily I've never had to really use it or see it, but if there's a hazard that's going to be hey, we have to get them away from this, I don't know, the bike caught fire, or something like that.
Fire, or they're middle of the road, maybe?
Middle of the road, maybe,
Potentially get hit by another car.
Yeah, if you've got traffic, but you're just going to be very careful to, especially if you got people with you, try and move them without moving the neck. Again,
okay,
that's going to be training that you have to go get.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just really stuff to think about. And while you're with your patient, you can assess for stuff like broken bones, things like that. Again, if you're like us, you're a layman, you're not going to fix anything. If there's no risk or danger, just have them not move it.
Stabilize.
Stabilize, immobilize. That's really going to be the best thing you can do for them.
Get them out of the way.
Yeah.
Make sure they are not on fire.
They're on fire. Yeah.
And I noticed you have a thing about, I was going to ask about what to do if they're bleeding, but
yeah. And I was typing this up and I was thinking bleeding is going to be, that's always a risk and things like that. But with a motorcycle crash, it's mostly going to be blunt force trauma and broken bones and things like that.
Road rash.
Yeah. But it's if it's a road rash, I don't know if I would even really if I would really do anything.
I feel like you just move more down. I feel like if there's big chunks of debris or something like that, maybe move out of the way. If you have antiseptic, you could probably do something. To at least, but
yeah,
I feel like at that point it's just going to hurt regardless, and it's just going to be there.
When I say I wouldn't really do anything, the one thing I would do is make sure I'm keeping them warm, because a lot of heat can be escaping if the wound is bad enough from there. But if
they could be in shock. too.
Yeah. Even in like my medical kit that I have here, I got a little like emergency heat blanket to cover them, So, but when it does come to bleeding, like it can always happen, especially when we off road. I've seen videos, more than enough videos of people getting impaled on like sticks and things like that.
Yeah. But I do agree, like blunt force trauma, like blunt force is probably something that's going to be something you'd see more, especially riding off road. But then on the road, like road rash, I feel like is also going to be
it's going to suck.
Road rash. Concussion, like head injury, road rash, and then blunt force. I think, that's definitely a good point to watch out for. But I think bleeding is still probably a good thing to know how to control.
Yeah, for sure. And if you have like, I don't want to explain it, but so if they're bleeding profusely, or if you see like a bright, like almost pink color of blood, that can indicate that it's an arterial bleed.
Yeah,
that does need to be addressed. If they got cut up on like a road guard or something, or if they hit a sign and the metal cuts them up. If it's on a limb, that's what a tourniquet is for. You need to go learn how to use a tourniquet yourself, how to stage it, everything. But in general, like you want to get the tourniquet as high on the limb as possible, as close. If it's on their leg, like get it all the way up into their groin, up,
Yeah.
And you're going to yank that thing down tight, and you're going to twist the little wandless, the stick, as tight as it can go. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot, but
better than bleeding out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and it's not unheard of too that you may need more than one tourniquet for a limb. So, the old wisdom is, 1 is none, 2 is 1. so like even in here, I have 2.
Yeah.
Just in case. For limbs, tourniquets, you want to start keeping them warm because loss of blood, their body temperature is going to decrease. For the torsos, you'd use gauze to plug a hole, or if you don't have anything, you can use clothing to just apply pressure to the wound to slow that blood down until professionals can come and help you out if you don't have stuff from there. So in the event of, again, road, I've seen videos of it, like with people off-road, and they're like, they get impaled with a stick, or they get stabbed with some metal, like in running into a road guard, things like that. It's don't remove it. that's what I
always hear. Like, don't remove it because it could potentially cause
more bleeding,
even more bleeding, or further injuries.
Yeah, and like especially if there's like already not like a ton of blood from that, like you pull it out, that's an open wound that you're gonna have to now address. Like just leave it for
professionals
people who are trained.
Yeah,
it's like
one other thing. So we've talked a lot about like kind of like full on big injury. So like someone goes down, they hit their head or break a bone or twist an ankle, break a knee, something like some kind of broken. But I feel like what's even more common that's more likely to happen is a lot of like smaller injuries while riding. Like, you tip your bike over and you maybe like bruise your knee or scrape your arm or something on. Do you have advice for people to kind of like what they should do to kind of address these smaller wounds out in the field that are not necessarily like life-threatening or like super serious, but enough to kind of like warrant some kind of attention to prevent like further injury or further infection or further issues from like rising up for the rest of the ride, or just until you can get to like a proper like medical care facility?
You're just gonna have to kind of know your own body, because if at that point you're still in care of yourself, is what it sounds like, right? Like I mean, if you twist your ankle, you get some swelling, elevate it out. If you're out, like if we're out off-roading, I don't know where you're going to get something like a compression thing to,
I mean, but like, I feel like there's lots of things that could happen where even somebody like, trying to like put on luggage and like bumps their hand against something, like just like these smaller,
just little bandages and antiseptic stuff,
Yeah. So you have a trauma kit with you. Do you want to walk us through what you have in there?
Yeah.
Included in there.
So this is called an IFAC, and you should have one for your car, your bike. They're just good to have. And
I do not have one.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why I just ride with Mitch.
Well, I opened this up today. I'm like, oh, this got wet from our last motorcycle trip. I need to replace some stuff.
Yeah.
because there's what you can do. It's not just enough to have the IFAK and be like, oh, I got one, now I can address it.
Yeah.
You can stage certain things. Like I've got this tourniquet prepped and ready to go.
Yeah.
In here I had some gauze that was already like kind of half open, so it's just a simple pull, ready to deploy. My second tourniquet here is ready to go. There are some things that you wouldn't want to open, like I have for like a lung. If you have a lung injury, like
oh wow,
I don't want to go into that because that's get training on that.
Yeah.
But, even things like tape, get some shears. I don't know what happened to my shears. So like here I am talking about it and I'm unprepared. So, gloves are important.
I'm assuming there's
quick clot.
Is there some like sterile wipes, like alcohol wipes in there too? Probably.
Nope.
Maybe not.
No, this is trauma.
Okay.
Yeah, like that'd be like more like a first aid kit.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what'd I drop? Oh, the wet gauze. so I'll be replacing a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and I mentioned that heat blanket too. We also have the emergency heat blanket to keep keep you warm. But
I feel like even if you like don't have access to like certification, I feel like if you do end up buying like either a first aid kit or some kind of like emergency kit, it's good to even like maybe even watch like a YouTube video of how to like at least know how to use some of the items in them.
Well, and there's tons of content creators out there too that are like, again, way more qualified to talk about this stuff. Like this, we just wanted to address it for you guys to
give you an idea,
things to think about. If you haven't looked into this stuff, you should. But one person that I know of who's really good, we're not sponsored or affiliated with them at all, but Dan the fireman.
Yeah.
He's an actual paramedic. He offers like a course too, where you can get an IFAK. And like a card on what to do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, checking with like your local fire department, your community colleges, libraries. What's it called? The American
Red Cross.
Yeah, might be Red Cross.
Well,
might be Red Cross, but you can get they'll go around and offer like first like CPR.
Oh, check also with your jobs because I know a lot of jobs offer like different courses or classes on a lot of like these like emergency response type situations, just in case your workplace has a fire or some kind of other emergency. It's good to know.
Yeah, and I had a hard time like writing this up because I didn't want to like overstep to be like. So again, I'm not qualified to teach anybody this stuff, right? I'm out of practice, but these are like the simple steps.
Yeah, and we just mentioned, like the idea is to not really like tell you like this is exactly what you do and how you do it. Is to kind of give an idea to. If you are interested in learning more, if you maybe even haven't even thought of like looking into this, to kind of put the idea in somebody's head to kind of like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I should buy a first aid kit or trauma kit or emergency supplies, just so I kind of know at least like how to address like a very basic need.
Yeah. Well, and you would, and again, like just to like make sure that you're being safe, that you're not going to be victim number 2.
Yeah. And then one thing I wanted to talk about. So you have the trauma kit. I have a first aid kit that I pack on my bike.
On our trip, I even had some ibuprofen from you. So.
And also 2 very different things. Trauma kit, I feel like it's going to be for more like very serious,
stopping
injuries.
bleeds, immobilizing limbs.
Yeah. My first aid kit has more basic stuff. It's got a little splint in it, little baby splint, some bandages. A bunch of different like medicine and stuff, painkillers. It's got like hydrocortisone like cream for like bug bites and things like that, prevent itching. And I think it's also important to have probably like both on your bike. But a first aid kit, it's just nice to have if you have like like my body's just killing. I need some like painkillers. You take some ibuprofen, some aspirin. I'm getting like some allergic reaction to something, like take an antihistamine. Plus it's got sterile pads, so if you do have like an external like cut from whether you're like setting up camp or if you did fall on your bike, plenty of like band-aids and like bandages, so if you have a bigger cut and you need to stop the bleeding, smaller band-aids if you get like a blister, things like that. I feel like it's just a nice thing to have to make your ride more comfortable in case something does happen, because you don't want to like have a cut on your hand and then be wearing your like motorcycle gloves getting all sweaty and gross and having like stuff get into that cut or like have other like dirt bacteria get in there.
And back to that too, like with me, like I have a bad knee. We're off-road riding, like, that can end up hurting quite a bit, and sometimes it feels like, oh, I think I hurt myself again. There's really not much I can do out there.
Take a pill, like maybe like if you need a brace
or elevate it up,
might need that beforehand. But I think my emergency or my little first aid kit also has like just the usual. I think it also has like an emergency blanket in it. But what's cool is about our area, I actually have a little booklet to show you like procedures for like basic like medical care, like how to apply a Band-Aid, or a bandage, how to like
it's hard to like
close a wound. It's even got the little like sticky, like almost staples. So if it is a deeper cut, you can like cinch it together a little bit, so it's not like spreading or and a bunch of like, it's got like a ton of antiseptic like pads. So I think it's good to have for smaller injuries. My big thing is like, smaller injuries can lead to bigger problems. Like even if it's a simple cut, if it's deep enough, it could get infected, which could lead to a bunch of issues down the road. If it's like you hit your knee, bruise your knee, like lots of different things can help.
I do want to go back to when it comes to like immobilizing, or like if you have to move somebody, like again, that's going to be like emergency. Like I need to get this person out of the way from a greater risk right now, but I see it all the time in like videos with this stuff, is like someone goes down and they get absolutely just messed up, like their arm or their leg is all twisted weird. And the first thing someone does when they approach, they try to move that limb back. Like, don't do that.
just leave it be.
Unless there's a reason you need to move that person, keep them still. Don't move that from there.
That makes sense.
Obviously, if you're like hours away from help, I don't know. I mean, I guess we could be in that situation.
Yeah. And that's actually a really good segue into what I wanted to talk about is things you can do if you are planning on riding through like sparsely populated areas, whether it's off-road or on-road. There's plenty of places where cell phone service might be sparse. Most phones, if you do dial 911, even if you don't have service, the phone will basically max power, try to connect to whatever tower it can. And by law, like even if you're not like you're on T-Mobile and there's a Verizon tower nearby, but you don't have T-Mobile service, like it has to be able to connect to that tower for a 911 for an emergency call. So first thing, try to dial 911, see if you can get through. If you can't, I think a really good idea. So if you're planning on riding by yourself or even with friends, like long distance, off-road, off the grid, or just in general, is to get one of those Garmin InReach satellite comms. They have an emergency button. You can use it to like text your friends, to give them updates, friends or family, like give them updates of where you are. But the big thing is it does ping your location every so often, so if there is some kind of emergency, you can send a signal, you can send an SOS, and you can at least get emergency services to know where you are.
Yeah.
If you don't have an InReach, I feel like the good thing about it is it's its own dedicated device. So you don't have to worry about it. It's not going to be like your phone or anything like that. It's one sole purpose is for like emergency use. And they have different versions of it. But the nice thing is now, so if you have any, if you're an iPhone user, if you have any of the iPhones up from, I want to say iPhone 14.
Yeah.
iPhone 14, and I think a lot of newer Android phones are starting to get it too, is they're basically including like satellite communications, which I think is fantastic for phones to like include something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a full replacement for like an InReach because it's not a dedicated device just for that purpose. And I think dedicated devices always do better at that one job than a phone which can do everything and doesn't have as good of a battery life as a InReach. But it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And I've been pretty impressed. Like I played around with like the satellite texting from my iPhone before, and you just point up at the satellite, you can send a message to like somebody else and just to let them know or like ping your location. But the big thing is it also allows you to, is they have an option to connect with like emergency services. There's a big like SOS button. You send it out and you can like communicate via text to let them know like, hey, I'm stuck in a ditch or I'm stuck here. Here's my location. I need help. And then they kind of, dispatch whoever they need to get to you.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to kind of like, one, set that up on your phone. If your phone can do that, set it up on your phone, play it, like test it out, send a message to some friends so you can figure out how it works and how to use it. Excuse me. But also, like it's good to know like where that is in your phone and how to access it. I know on iPhones, and sorry, I don't know Android very well. If you hit the lock button like 5 times, it'll open up like a screen that has like an emergency call like slider, so you can click that. And if you don't have service, it'll try to connect to a satellite. It do have to kind of like point in the right direction. I'm not sure if, at least for texting, I'm not sure how it works with if you're like in an emergency, if it just like tries to broadcast to whatever satellite it can.
Yeah.
Because it does need like line of sight. And I think that's also where the dedicated like Garmin InReach comes in handy, is because I feel like it's going to be dedicate more power just for that purpose.
Yeah.
But it's still better than nothing. So it's really cool to have that option on your phone. So be sure to like that's set up and that's functioning, so you know like how to use it and when to use it in an emergency. I know on my phone, like you can see even like roadside assistance, like if your car breaks down, if you break down in the middle of nowhere, you can at least get in touch with something.
Yeah.
It's better to be in contact. And I think also another important thing is that...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is that if you are planning on riding somewhere, whether it's close to town, but especially if you're planning on riding far, like doing a full-on tour or going off-road, is to let somebody know where you're going to be, like where your location is. Yeah.
The route you're taking.
Mm-hmm. And if you are planning on like doing multi-day trips, I think it's important to like check in with someone every evening or so. Like, hey, I'm expecting to get to this spot around this time. Like if I don't text within like a certain time range, like...
Yeah. And while you're riding, remember to like while you're riding, like when we're doing like big trips or long day rides or something, it's as you're going along, it's good to keep at least just pay attention to the mile markers, because you may know what road you're on or where you're heading.
Mile markers and landmarks.
Yeah.
Too.
Yep. Landmarks, everything like that. That way it's easier for your group to be found if the EMS needs to come get you.
Yeah. So. At least describe like where you're at.
Yeah.
And there's like one other. Like I have my location shared with my parents, like on my phone, so they know where I'm at. And a lot of times, like even if you don't have service, it might still like
share
at least
last
like
known, right?
Last known location, or like at least like a relative area. And there's a lot of those things you can do to kind of like at least make it easier if something were to happen. And hopefully it doesn't, but if something were to happen, to make it easier for emergency services to find you. Is there anything else you want to add?
The mile markers from there, I just to reiterate again, like you're there to control the scene until help can arrive. You're not going to fix anything.
Yeah.
On the side of the road, you can just...
Actually, I just thought of a really good question. So if someone is calling 911, what are the big things they need to let them know?
The operators will ask what they need to know, but things that they're going to ask for is, like age, sex, like are they breathing, are they alert, got the ABCs, airway, breathing, circulation. That's really, they're just going to ask
location.
Well, obviously they're going to get your location.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like, oh, well, cool. We don't really know where you are, but no, they're not going to do anything like that. I've been out of that world for a while now, so I'm a little rusty on it, but it would be good for us to go get some training again, especially with the off-roading stuff. So, what was I going to? Oh, another piece I have that I don't have with me. It's not riding season. All my stuff's put away, but I have a SAM splint. It's like a flexible. I've shown it to you.
Yeah.
That's good for like helping immobilize. Like if it's a broken wrist or a foot or knee or something, it can really help you like immobilize like as you wrap it to keep it.
And I'm glad you brought up broken wrist, because I feel like that's something that could happen on the bike.
Yeah.
Because one of the big instincts for someone if they're falling is to catch themselves. Like I remember when learning how to snowboard, the big thing they do is like don't try to catch yourself with your hands, like just fall. Yeah. Just fall on your let the hand like slide forward, because you have a more chance, like a higher chance of like breaking your wrist if you try to like catch yourself.
I don't know if I know I've talked about like when we were going on that trip and I just didn't balance right getting off the kickstand, and I fell down in the parking lot. I was like, even just laying still, I just kind of like landed on like my pads and just rolled.
Yeah,
just like, oh, I'm glad it's early in the morning, so no one saw me. It's embarrassing.
But that's pretty much it, and yeah, and we're still in January, so riding season's a little off for us, but it's a good thing to know.
See some lunatics riding around in this
I saw one
40, 30
degree
degree weather.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty warm here now.
Yeah.
So.
But just to like reiterate, this is not like
it's food for thought.
It's not
as
professional
always.
advice.
Yeah.
If you are interested in it, check with your local resources where you can learn how to do this stuff. But hopefully this kind of gives you a good idea of what you need to do, what you need to look out for, and what you should probably have on your bike if you are planning on doing pretty much any kind of ride, but especially rides that take you outside of like populated areas.
Yeah. And one thing I forgot to mention too, like if you're carrying like a first aid or a trauma kit, pack it somewhere where it's easily accessible.
Oh, that's a good point.
You don't want to be digging through your luggage.
Pack it on the top or if, tank bag, or
or if you're the one controlling the scene, you're with the person. You're like, hey, you go get my kit. Yeah. They don't know where it is. Like, just make it easily accessible.
I feel like that'd be a good idea to get just one of those like Red Cross patches, like put on like a bag where well, I meant like put on the outside of the bag that's going to be in. Like if it's in your like left or right pannier or your top box or your tank bag, just put it on the outside of that.
As a general, just wherever you're gonna put it on top. It'd be like one of the last things you put in.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this is hopefully this was really good advice for our listeners. If you are a trained professional, feel free to
tear us apart. If we got
tear us apart.
Wrong.
Yeah, feel free to tear us apart, but also like feel free to comment or send us an email for any other advice that you would have to give people, or if there's like some new procedures or rules to kind of follow that we probably didn't mention. Feel free to let us know, and I'm very curious to see like how like different countries handle different like situations like this, because I know like some states here in Utah, like here in Utah, but a lot of like Western states, they have like full on search and rescue like operations like set up. I'm very curious to see how like other countries kind of like do that kind of stuff.
Oh, you're talking like they're off in the boonies and they get lost and hurt.
Yeah, and well, you need like a helicopter to come get you or something like
God
that.
God forbid.
I mean,
I don't want that bill.
Ton of money.
just let me die.
But if you're in a country with proper health care, you might be better off. But yeah, just let us know. I'm very, very curious. If
I'm conscious and I need a helicopter ride, it's gonna be like no. But if they say like you don't have a choice, and you're like, well, I'm not paying this bill.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully this is some good info.
Yeah, we'll be back at you with some new stuff.
Yep. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
Have a good day.